guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now, today's reading will be a mid-monthly reading for the month of March 2018. So really focusing on the last couple of weeks of the month, from the 15th through the end of the month, but specifically looking at the areas of career and finance and love and relationships. For the career and finance portion of the reading, I'll be using the Wheel of the Year Tarot deck by Scarabeo, and I'll pull an oracle card from the Sacred Traveler deck, and that's by Denise Lynn. And for the love and romance relationships part of the reading, I'll use the Good Tarot deck by Colette Baron-Reid, and we'll pull an additional oracle card from Romance Angels Oracle card deck by Doreen Virtue. Just a reminder, these are general readings. The messages may or may not resonate with you. I would encourage you to watch not just your sun sign reading, but also your moon and your rising sign. That way you will get, a more complete overview of what's going on for you during the last 2 weeks of the month. And obviously the only way to get a truly personalized reading focusing on you and what's going on in your life right now would be to get a private reading from me. If you're interested, take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com. And there you'll find all of the pricing as well as the types of videos that I offer, the video readings. Or you could email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. Right, so once again, thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in 1 second for your reading. Bye for now. Hi Scorpio, hope you're doing well. I'm here to get into your mid-March reading, focusing on career and finance and love and relationships. As you can see, I've already shuffled off camera and have laid out the spread to try to save some time. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. Starting off with the career and finance portion. In the past position, you have Major Arcana number 5, the Hierophant. In the present, we have another number 5, the 5 of Chalices. And in the future position, as you leave the month of March, heading into April, you have the Ace of Swords. And the overall energy for the last 2 weeks of the month, you have the 6 of Chalices. And the the Sacred Traveler card is First Light, beginning a new cycle. And I will get into the full meaning of the card once we go through the the main reading here. So starting off with the 6 of Chalices, or the 6 of Cups. So first of all, the Suit of Cups has to do with our emotions, right? It's feelings, relationships, it's how we deal, or how our emotions, or how we use our emotions and how they influence the people that we deal with, our relationships. The 6 of Chalices, or 6 of Cups, is a card that speaks of nostalgia. If you can see, let me pick this up again. See that the woman, this is the woman sort of looking back on herself, right? Seeing herself at a previous point in her life, right? We usually think of it as a card of nostalgia or memories or something that has to do with the past or someone from our past. It could be reconnecting with people from our past, right? Reconnecting with old friends, reconnecting with, since this is, career finance, people that we used to work with. This could be thinking back to a job that you used to have, a place where you used to work. Could have some type of tie to, your hometown or where you used to live. But it's definitely a card of, thinking back on the past. And it's always with sort of these rose-colored glasses, these positive, looking back in a nostalgic and a positive, way on people from the past or a situation from the past, a past job, a past friendship, a past love, right? And that's the overall energy for the last 2 weeks. So for some of you, there could be, looking back on a previous job. Maybe you're thinking about a job that you had. Maybe you're thinking about returning to a job that you once had, or a career, or if you've gotten out of a certain career, maybe you're looking to go back into doing whatever it was that you used to do. Well, we'll see how that ties in with the rest of the reading here, okay? So the past position, we have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant speaks of tradition, right? The Hierophant, it always has to do with kind of, if there's a tried and true way of doing things, a very traditional way of doing things, we usually, that's what the Hierophant is. He's also somebody, he can represent counsel. He can represent, this can be either spiritual counsel, this can be, a financial counselor, this can be legal counsel. Sometimes he comes up when you're dealing with like judges or lawyers, the court system, the government, IRS, large institutions such as, like universities, school systems, any sort of large entity that is pretty much ruled by, like religious institutions, ruled by a clean sort of set of laws or rules or way of doing things, right? So for some of you, and this does appear in the past position, some of you could have over the past few weeks or going back a month, you could have been seeking out some type of counsel. And obviously this is going to play out, in different ways for everybody. For some of you, this could have been seeking out legal counsel. For others, this could have had to do with, since we're looking at career and finance, could have been some type of career financial advice. Maybe you've been working on your taxes, seeking out the help of somebody to better manage your taxes, make sure that you file everything by the book, do things by the book. If you're trying to do something different with your taxes this year, for example, maybe I'm not sure, bought a home, or maybe you're claiming more dependents than usual, just making sure that you are doing things, by the book, like legally, the way that they're supposed to be done, in case at some point you get audited, something along those lines. So make sure, seeking out some type of help, of advice. Sometimes this card appears when there's a marriage, taking, because sort of the traditional way of doing things is taking things to the next level. If we think of it in the work sector, this is you kind of doing things by the book, playing along, playing the game, moving up the ladder, one rung at a time, getting that promotion, applying for the next position, working there, applying for the next. So it's, working your way up, but doing it, in a very by the books kind of way. If this is in a relationship, this could be, and it is in the past, could have been taking the relationship to the next level, but we're trying to focus more on career and finance here. Although I did, for your relationship reading, I also kind of got more finance off of it. So it's interesting. Sometimes that happens when I do the readings. There's kind of either there's repeated messages, or, maybe in one of the readings it won't come through quite as strongly. For love and romance, it will just kind of be repeating a lot of the messages from the other reading, but we'll get into that in a minute. But this has brought you to this 5 of chalices in the present position, okay? And the suit of chalices, again, we have the 6 of chalices, or 6 of cups, as the overall energy. So more to do with emotions and feelings and relationships, right? But the 5 of cups is a feeling of lack, of despair, right? You can look on this card. The woman, she looks very, very concerned, very upset about the cups that have all spilled over. And in this particular deck, the representation of the 5 of cups is that, it's more like, all is lost because all of the cups have been have spilled out here, right? But in the traditional tarot, sorry, there's usually, at least two cups sort of standing. So there's like the three cups that have spilled out, been spilled, and the person is really just focusing on those cups instead of, or missing out on, or not even paying attention to the two cups that are still standing. That represent opportunities still available to that person. So for some of you, that could be in the present. There might have been some type of setback. There might have been, you might be feeling some type of disappointment at something. If this was with regards to, a promotion, or wanting to get a new job, or, moving up, or wanting to even, since we do have the Six of Cups, thinking about moving back, going back into an old job or position, or, where you're feeling right now is that, you're feeling very down. Things don't seem to be, maybe they don't seem to be going kind of the way that you had planned, and you're feeling very disappointed about it, right? But again, the caution with this card, or really the kind of the hidden message, I think, is about keeping a positive attitude, even if there are setbacks, even if there might be things that, are quite difficult that we have to get through. Try to focus on, find the positive in the negative situation, right? Because it's, again, looking for those two cups that are still there, the opportunity that possibly you're missing out on, you're not seeing, some type of hidden opportunity for you that you need to, remain positive in order to see. So it's all about mindset, keeping those positive thoughts coming here. And what you have as you leave the month is a beautiful new beginning. So whatever, if there was a setback, if you didn't get a particular job, maybe it was within the same company, and maybe you weren't supposed to get that job because there's an opportunity to go back to doing something that you used to do, to working with people that you used to work with, teaming up with people from the past, right? Because we do have this beautiful new beginning with this Ace of Swords. And aces are always yes cards. Aces are positive. They're blessed new beginnings. And the Ace of Swords, a lot of times it comes in to bring clarity, right? The suit of swords itself is a suit that deals with the intellect, our mind, our thoughts, cerebral energy. It has to do with communication, how we communicate with other people as well. But it's a very divinely guided, opportunity. There could be something coming in around, pay attention to the phases of the moon this month, especially towards the end of the month. We do have coming up at the end of March, there's a full moon, right? We have the second full moon, the blue moon of the month, but there could be something or around, the beginning of the next month, since this is in the outbound position. But pay attention to maybe your thoughts or what is going on around the time of the, these, either the full moon or the new moon. Could be some type of hidden knowledge coming in. You might find out about something that's going to bring you great clarity. You'll come to see and understand something about this disappointment that happened here with this Five of Cups. That, maybe you will gain the clarity to see that, okay, you weren't supposed to move up within that company, or you weren't supposed to get whatever it was that you were hoping for, because there's this opportunity to go back to doing something you used to do, to go back to, maybe your childhood home or somewhere where you used to live. It has something to do with, a new beginning, but this new beginning is tied to either people that you know from the past, somewhere that you used to live, a past place, a past relationships, past job. So a new beginning, but tied in with, something from the past here. Obviously, this is going to play out in many different ways for those of you watching the video, but, definitely the message as far as career and finance goes is new beginnings, right? Using your intellect resolving a situation possibly, being victorious. Sometimes this new beginning has to do with seeing things from a different point of view. Again, focusing on the positive, finding or having this new inspiration, a new outlook, but definitely new things, but tied in with some, the past or something to do with the past. And then the card that you have from the Sacred Traveler deck is First Light. So for these cards, I like to I like to read from the guidebook, okay, to give you the full meaning for the card. So it's called First Light, beginning a new cycle, which has everything to do with this Ace of Swords over here, right? And it says, a new day has begun in your life. You are at the beginning of a new cycle. It's time to release the old and start again. Wipe the slate clean. Although it's often difficult to release familiar routines, situations, or relationships that no longer empower you, it's now time to set your sights on the future and let go of the past. Interesting. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know. The traveler faces east towards the sunrise and affirms that a new day and a new cycle have begun. New beginnings are often fraught with the unknown. Yet the Sacred Traveler has observed on the extended journey that life goes in a circle. In the circle of life, the plants die in the autumn, so there can be new birth in the spring. The sun rises and the sun sets. It's the universal dance of death and rebirth. There's a time to end and to begin. In your life, it's the close of one cycle and the beginning of another. Face fear about the unknown and be willing to begin anew. You will succeed. And definitely, I mean, you have the Ace of Swords, so you have a big victory card over here, a big yes card. So whatever this new thing is, it's going to be a very positive and successful new beginning for you, right? So interesting message coming through on your career reading. So let's move on here. Taking a look here at our romance and relationships, okay? You have in the past position, Major Arcana, number 1, the Magician. In the present, you have the 8 of Fire. This is the 8 of Wands. And in the outbound position, you have another 8. Okay, the 8 of Earth. And the overall energy for the next 2 weeks, you have the Fortune's Wheel. So, more changes, right? This is the Wheel of Fortune. And your Romance Angels card is Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level, oops, sorry, dropped the card, of commitment. Okay, so, interesting. We have here, let me start off with our overall energy. So the Fortune's Wheel, Wheel of Fortune, it has to do with endings and beginnings, but significant ones, right? And you do have, out of the 4 cards, we have 2 Major Arcana cards, right? And both of these cards, they're very powerful messages coming through with the Magician and the Fortune's Wheel. But the Wheel of Fortune really deals with, it's a very karmic card. It deals with fate. It deals with changes. But, these sort of significant changes and cycles. And, sometimes you're on the downswing of the Wheel of Fortune. Others, you're on the upswing. So, with this card coming in, it does show that over the next 2 weeks, if things have been going a little, maybe things have been difficult, there's going to be a change. So a change in luck, a change in, in fate, destiny, new opportunities, spiritual growth coming in, a cycle, one particular cycle ending, a significant cycle ending. But we know that, with endings come new beginnings, right? Just similar to the message that we had over here with the Sacred Traveler card. So endings bring new beginnings here, okay? So there could be significant opportunities coming in. We are looking at relationships here. So there could be some significant endings and beginnings in a relationship. but more to do with, taking things to the next level. And the card that came out, right, is engagement. So sometimes this Wheel of Fortune card comes in when, there's a sort of a change in fortune, yes, but it can also have to do with, where destiny meets synchronicity. So, has to do with divine timing, right? And understanding that there are no, like nothing happens by chance. There are things that they're perfectly timed, they're divinely timed, they're meant to happen. We meet people when we are meant to meet them. People appear in our lives when they're meant to appear. So it's that type of energy with this card. Now, let's take a look at the three cards here, beginning with the past position, the Magician. The Magician is a very powerful figure. He has all of the tools within his grasp to achieve what he wants to achieve, right? But he also does it he does it he does it on his own, but he also does it by partnering with the universe. So he is all about, being in alignment with spirit, manifesting, teaming up with the universe, using the universe in order to, putting his intentions, setting his intentions, and then partnering up to manifest what it is that he is looking for, and understanding, realizing that, when he is in alignment with, spirit, with the universe, then things tend to happen, right? Things tend to start moving forward. So it's a card of sort of unlimited potential results, co-creation, sort of you working with spirit. So, we're looking at here more at relationships and friendships and romance. So this could be, it is in the past position. This could have been you setting your intentions, right? And whatever that might mean. For some people, that might, if you're already in a relationship, it might have been setting your intentions for, for moving up, moving to the next level, getting more serious, whatever that might mean, moving in together, getting engaged, getting married. For others, this, if you weren't in a relationship, this could have been you setting your intentions, right, to begin a new relationship, doing your part, putting yourself out there, getting on dating sites, going out with your friends to meet people. But also, there is this fated element here, so divine timing. So this could have to do with, maybe you met somebody when you went to somewhere that maybe you wouldn't usually go to a place like that. Maybe you went, you went out with some friends. They took you to a place where you wouldn't usually go. Maybe it was a type of event that you wouldn't usually attend, but you went anyway, and you ended up meeting somebody there. It could be that type of, with this Fortune's Wheel as the overall energy. But it's, it's all about co-creation and you using, like you being very powerful, but also, being more powerful by partnering with the universe. So it's sort of definitely divine intervention at play here, right? And you harnessing the power of the universe to really bring about, to manifest your dreams and desires, whatever that might mean, and really grasping and taking advantage of whatever these new opportunities are. Now, in the present, so we have two number 8s here, right? We have two, this is a 10, and, after the 10 comes a 1, and 10 plus zeros, 1 plus 0 is 1. So we have two sort of 1s and two 8s here. And 8s, we have the 8 of fire and 8 of earth. 8 of fire has to do with news coming in very quickly, right? And the 8 of earth is about working on something, right? And mastering, like when we think of it as in the work sector, it's often referred to as the apprentice card, and you working very hard. So with the 8 of fire in the present, there could be some quick communication coming in, right? With fire energy. Fire is very fast-paced energy. It's very passionate, very quick, back and forth. If you did meet somebody online, there could be, a lot of back and forth messaging. This is more like emails or text messaging, or, the online back and forth. But it's news coming in quite quickly, and it's news that that you're going to, that's going to be very exciting. You're going to find it very exciting. The suit of fire also has to do with, has to do with creativity, creative projects, has to do with our own ambition and drive for getting things done, for certain projects, for the work that we do. In this particular deck, it has to do with like quick changes, swift changes coming in, something gathering momentum. So if you did meet somebody, it's things picking up quite quickly with that person, It can also represent travel. There might be some travel involved with this person that you just met. Or if you've already, if you were in a relationship, some type of travel with this person that possibly came up quite quickly. It's a card of momentum, a forward movement, of possibly traveling to, distant places. Or maybe this is somebody, the person that you've been dealing with, maybe they are located at a distance, right? They're at quite a distance from you. But it's it's a very exciting energy with this Eight of Fire. And then with the Eight of Earth following it, usually this Eight of Earth, since it is Earth energy, that it's very grounded, it's very stable. When excuse me, when we have, this earth energy like this in a reading, it really speaks of kind of staying power, that type of relationship that you're working hard on the relationship, learning from or learning about the other person, that person is learning about you, you're gaining knowledge of each other, right? You're working together, you're working to make the relationship better than it already is. It's a conscious sort of really working hard, and it has staying power. This definitely has, and what, if you've been in a relationship for a while, this could be, you have been working, you've been progressing, and with this Wheel of Fortune plus the engagement, there could be some taking things to the next level. You've been together for a while, you kind of the first getting to know you, that's already gone. And now you're really at the point where, you've put a lot into of hard work and time and effort and love into this relationship. And so it's time to, move on to the next level, to take it to the next level. And with the engagement card here, let me read you from the guidebook. The engagement card says, "Congratulations, this card signals pending nuptials, beginning with a romantic engagement. Even if you're not presently in a relationship, the romance angels can see one upon your horizon. This card comes to you as reassurance, specifically so that you'll choose to release any worries about whether you'll get married, because you will. Deep romantic love, in which you feel treasured, is in the cards for you. The deeper meaning of this card relates to commitment. First, you commit to taking care of yourself. You establish boundaries about what you will and won't accept in your relationships and in other life areas, such as career, home, lifestyle, and so on. Next, you honor your self-commitment by taking decisive action and telling others how you truthfully feel about their behavior. As you commit to yourself, the universe sends you additional experiences of loving commitment, including the promise of marriage." So, for some of you, there could definitely be, an engagement coming up, possibly even marriage in the cards for you here. And, things are definitely changing, one cycle ending. That could definitely tie in with the, taking the relationship to the next level. But, yeah, it looks like a new, and you have that, like I said, you have the new beginnings here in your career and finance, and then we have this new cycle, right? Changes, new cycle, but exciting, lots of exciting energy sort of coming off of the cards here. So whatever this new cycle is for you, if this is, definitely taking things to the next level, possibly getting engaged, possibly getting married, it's all meant to be, right? There's divine timing at play here. So very nice. Looks like it's going to be a good rest of the month for you. I do thank you for joining me here today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful rest of the month. Bye for now.